All right, let's talk Desperate Housewives. Yeah, I'm rewatching it for the billionth time once again, and of course, already on season five, dreading it because I know it's Edie's last season, and yeah. First off, I hate that it's Edie's last season, always have, but grateful that we at least had 5 seasons instead of 3. Miss you and love you, Prue. Peace, Shannon. Um, And yeah, I'm watching the next episode after, what happens. And yeah, it still brings up those same emotions of being pissed off. Okay. Honestly, I said it before, I've been listening to Desperately Devoted. Great podcast, love it. I can't wait till they get this far because I want to know the truth, girl. I want to know the real tea. I want to know if fucking Nicolette will join the podcast and share the love because it's just ridiculous. And I think it always has been, it always was. Like, it's not as bad as Prue's death, obviously, but it's still a bullshit death. And that's just how it feels, especially for Edie. And especially like how they handled it with her voiceover in the very next episode, and then you like obviously get the sense, well, she's obviously gonna die if she's voiceovering it. Like, they could have fixed that right off the bat. They should have had it be Mary Alice and then it flows into Edie. Just saying. You writers, that's all I can say. And where's the respect? I mean, 5 beautiful seasons. They tried to like destroy her character slightly in season 4. Then in season 5, they kind of give her some love and some great moments. I do appreciate it, but I mean, it being her last season, she should have had a lot more going for her, or just, I don't know. It's just, I'm sure everyone agrees with this. But I was dreading the episode with the urn and the ashes and all that. And I was like, if it's the very next episode, I'm gonna scream. And it was. So, first off, you kill off a huge character. Good for you. Second off, you give her like the dumbest death I could ever imagine, especially for Edie. She would have so survived that, and personally, I don't believe that she's dead because, girl, she's not even in the finale as a ghost. So, take that in your pipe and smoke it because honestly, she's probably just living her best life, went to witness protection and just pieced out. Said, fuck all y'all. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes on back. Anyway, I'm rambling, but it's just a lot to take in, to have such a shocking death, first off. Do I really need to say it? Pun intended. That ends in a way where you feel like she's not going to die. And then to further it, while her voiceover is happening, she is like alive and moving and doing all this stuff, and yet she still dies. It's so dumb. And it's so rude. Like, that's how it feels. And then to push it even further, we jump into the next episode, voiceover, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, they have to take the urn to her son. And what's annoying, and I'm going to keep watching it because I'm sure, I don't know. What's fucking annoying is that, first off, her own son wouldn't go to his mom's funeral, as if. And, like, that just gives Edie, like, a sad, sick taste in your mouth, like, as if. Like, she wasn't that bad of a mother. Season 4 proved that. So why give her this horrible, like, ending with her child in the end? And I'm pretty sure he doesn't even want to keep the urn, from what I remember, which is even more sad. And it's all like some stupid episode about, like, let's talk about Edie and whatever. Like, I remember that, so we'll see what happens. I'm just starting it because I'm already pissed off. Ramble 2, I just gotta throw in there. First off, the housewives aren't even wanting to take the urn, which is annoying. And second off, you didn't even give her a funeral. I think like every other character got a giant funeral, and we don't even give Edie one. It's rude. I should have got some fucking something to make this episode a little bit more worth watching. But it's such it's just horrible to the character. This is also the episode where they truly destroy Orson's character. Let's not forget that one. Personally, I always loved Orson and Bree. Always. They were perfect for each other. But that's a conversation for another time. And I'm just heartbroken by it, still to this day. I said before, it's like losing one of the fucking Spice Girls. And they do seem like they try to replace her with, like, but there's no replacing Edie. Vanessa, you came close. I did love your little bit in the final 2 seasons, but just would have been nice if Edie was there till the very end. Her character could have grown and become something incredible, but no, the behind the scenes drama, right, had to fuck with it. And so that brings me to my final point. Something has been bugging me, and I think it's just time to just express it. I just want to say, first off, times are different. Maybe in the moment it was whatever it was. I'm not saying this person's right, this person's wrong, but we all need to be heard. We all need to be respected. And I just applaud Nicolette Sheridan for even doing the voiceover part because, or even like, maybe she'd even know. No, she knew. But anyway, I just applaud her for even getting through all that and then having the balls to attempt to take Mark to court. And I'm not saying Mark Cherry's a bad guy at all. I hear great things about him, especially through the podcast. It's still an incredible, legendary series. We all make mistakes. Like, look at Marissa Cooper, everyone. One of the biggest regrets in life, but at least it was a worthy, tragic death that, I mean, you really felt it. But I really dislike when a character is lost and then we rush and we don't even appreciate the loss. Like, thank God in Charmed we had a few episodes, maybe the first 5, where Prue is sort of mentioned, and then she's just like never. Well, it's not that she's never mentioned again, but you know what I'm saying. Edie gets an almost ooh, what's gonna happen scene, and then the very next episode, here's an urn. So this is what's been bugging me. I heard through the desperately devoted grapevine that when Nicolette had to go to court and try to declare that she was wrongfully killed off, and I think the proof is in the episode, that Jamie James Denton, was the only one called into court to defend, Mark and whatever. And I think he was put in like a very in the middle kind of, rock and hard place kind of scenario. And what was interesting to me through hearing this and just saying, I don't think he meant for it to like come out in any way or context. This is how I received it. And this is just something that maybe I'm late to the grapevine talk, or maybe this is common knowledge and I just wasn't aware. But something really stuck out to me, and that's that Jamie Denton was the only one to be called in. Like, what's her face? Susie Q. Sorry, Terry Hatcher. She was in the podcast quite surprised. She had no idea that anyone was called in to talk and to this and to that and to have to defend the choice to kill off a character, even though it had nothing to do with Jamie Denton and what his opinion was about that. It just honestly had to do with the fact that Jamie Denton's character was in a certain alignment to Nicolette Sheridan's character. So let me re-explain this. They say something about how she tried to go to court and she tried to express that you don't kill off a main person in this doc list. Like, she was the first five, I want to say. Um, and it's like unheard of, apparently, or it was at the time, to kill off a first five top actor person or whatnot. And that was like her defense towards it, which I agree, or I can understand like the idea behind all that, whatever Mark Cherry wants to say. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but we are all capable of doing not so great things in our life, and I think this is one of those moments. And it's just unfortunate that it even happened, of course, and that, we couldn't have fixed it, or behind the scenes couldn't have worked it out. But let me keep rambling. What stood out to me was that Jamie James Denton, the argument and the reason why Nicolette did not apparently win in court is because of her argument that you don't kill off a top whatever character, blah, blah, blah. The first five, the first seven, I don't know the order, whatever. And a huge defense that I guess Mark Cherry's team had was that, well, actually, and this happened apparently in the courtroom during the final season, and it was noted and pointed out that, well, Jamie Denton's character's dying off in a few episodes after this court hearing, and he was sixth in line, and therefore Edie's death is like accepted in these court term facts of TV fucking life, which shocked me because now, and again, not trying to bring up any drama, but this is Desperate Housewives, y'all, so let's dive in. I think, my personal opinion, prove me wrong, that the only reason Jamie's character, Mr. Mike Delfino, spoiler alert, gets killed off is because of Edie's death. Because if Jamie Denton never had to go into court and voice that, well, his character is being killed off in a few episodes, and it wasn't even released in the media yet, Jamie was saying that he was worried that it would get out and everyone would know and blah, blah, blah. But it was like literally the very next day that the episode or whatever was going to air. So it was sort of like, I don't know. But the whole talk, even though there was no like negative or even insightful thoughts into all this, I picked up on the fact that, oh my God. So I wonder, I'm just saying, my opinion, if the whole time that Nicolette Sheridan was trying to take Mark to court and express that her character be murdered off for no reason and blah, 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 and she was fifth in payment mode or whatever the casting thing is, I don't know the terms, people, is the reason. And then after all these years and whatever, and then we're in the final season, and then out of the blue, Mark has this great idea to let Denton know that, hey, we're going to kill you off too. But behind the scenes, what's really going on is that Nicolette and Mark are going to court. And the saving grace of how Mark wins this court thing is because Mike Denton's character, who's sixth in place, is also being killed off, murdered off, and therefore Nicolette's death lawsuit is... You hear what I'm saying, people? I really explain things really strangely, but honestly, this is just surprising to me. I feel that if Nicolette wasn't in court and trying to prove her worth behind the scenes, then there would have been no reason for Jamie Denton, to go to court and express or prove factually that he's also a character being killed off. And that was also shocking out of the blue. Everyone hated that. I think it saved Mark's ass to do this. I think, like, if Edie hadn't been murdered off and which for whatever reasons are true behind the whole scenes, like, we can't get into Mark's head for real and whatnot, but I mean, you gotta face your fucking truth, buddy, if that is the case. And again, not saying you're a bad guy or whatever, but it seems to me that at the time you got away with the fact that you were allowed to kill off this main character because you killed off this other main character, and there you go. Let's reiterate. I feel if at the time Mark wasn't going to court with Nicolette and her proof was that she's fifth in line, she shouldn't have been murdered, at the exact same time, Mark Cherry decides that James Denton's character, who's 6, is to be murdered off, literally right as they're in the court process. Hello, connect the dots. So take that in your pipe and smoke it, because I think unintentionally some truths were exposed and some apologies should be made. Not just to your cast members for murdering them off the way that you did, but also to us fans, okay? But anyway, that's just my take on it. Love ya. Miss you, Nicolette. It won't be the same without you. But I will get through it. I remember the final season being the most ridiculous of them all, so let's go. Bye. And okay, I am watching the next episode. I did forget that, and thank you, Sheridan, for coming on in, and just glad that we actually have an episode with you still in it, even with you dead. But I don't love the, like, showing us these great qualities of Edie, and then, you know, she's still gone. Like, it's like a mute point or whatever. It's all we want to do now is see more of her and see more of these moments that happened, like being the kick-ass one that helped Lynette through cancer and supported, like, Bree and all this crap, and being the first one to tell Susan of her, like, Carl. Like, so why do you still sit there and bitch and complain about her when she is a great person? She's just not like you, you know? It's so strange. It's like, it's weird. I don't like it. Oh, oh, and Terry, there's another changing the tires scene for you. And apparently, out of the 5 women in there, only one knows how. So dumb. Yep, Edie was the one that reminded you that you were hot and to enjoy every minute of life. How can you get rid of a character like that? First off, Edie at least has one hot son. Got a jawline for days. Mama would be proud. But second, again, why would 2 days after her death would, you know, women just show up and then express, oh yeah, by the way, your mom's dead, here's her ashes? Like, what were you guys thinking? This is crazy to me. Like, there's no way in hell he would have, like, been phone called. He would have, like, probably rushed down there. I really disbelieve this whole arc of it. Like, they say, oh, we couldn't reach your father, blah blah blah. And to further it, they really make it seem like her son hated her, and I really don't like that. It's so hard for me to believe that all this time she was never, like, there for him and stuff. Even McCluskey's story was actually, like, not the best way to end it. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. It's still just so, like, where was the respect? And oh, how she lived. Well, Miss and love you, Edie. Just saying. Just finished that episode, and it is what it is. So grateful to see Edie in her final moments. It is a little bit of a better episode than I remember, but because she shows up in it, so grateful to that. But once again, it just leaves us wishing we had so much more of Edie. So I don't get it. I do love the whole spraying the ashes on Wisteria Lane gimmick, but again, it just makes you wish you had more. So I still stand by my thoughts, Mark Cherry. You owe us an apology. Oh, and one final thing I just have to point out, and no shame or offense or whatever to the actor at all, like, good for you, but you give us Edie in a marriage. No one wanted to see that. We didn't even get to see Edie at her finest. You know what I'm saying? And no offense again, but you hooked her up with an actor that won't even get nude or anything like that on screen, or won't even, like, implicate sex or anything because it's against his religion. I mean, as if Edie Edie would never. She just would never. I just wish that her final season was her at her whoring finest. There's no one like her. Because no one can do it better than Edie. That's truly what the show is missing. You get what I'm saying. Alright, that's it. That's all. Goodbye, Edie Britt.